Season 5 of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We're in the tail end of it. I feel like your trajectory this season was kind of disengaged to start, and we've elevated to engaged as the season has gone on. Was that intentional? Was there a reason you were kind of sitting back in the beginning of the season, or was that just how it shook out?
Kind of how it shook out, you know. I wasn't intentionally sitting back in the beginning. I might have been off to a slower start because I'd had a breast reduction right before we started. And I also did this thing called Renuvion that, like, you know, it was very cool, but the whole thing kind of
Took you out a bit?
A little bit. I was a little slow coming back from all of it.
What does that procedure do?
It's like, it's the coolest thing. It's skin tightening.
Oh.
So, like, I did my body.
So from head to toe, you were just a little locked up?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of did basically neck down, you know?
Okay. The ratcheting up to engage seemed to happen around camping day and Mary's brunch. That seems to be where the shift came in.
Angie, you are an unhappy woman. Angie, stop. Leave me alone. You're miserable. You're miserable. If you're not going to listen to me, way too far. Angie! Meredith, if you're not going to listen to me, get out of my house. I'm talking, okay?
I will, thank you.
You know, I was, you know, very much taken by surprise at Mary's lunch, and I thought that, you know, I didn't realize that she was so angry at me, you know, before that. And so it was surprising, you know, because there were more words, obviously. We know it's snippets and moments, and she had quite a bit more to say to me prior to just the get out, so.
It has been sad as a viewer to watch the two of you hit this place in your friendship because you kind of were the constant for Mary all this time. Do you see any of what happened differently now, maybe having a little more context into her mental state at the time of filming and everything that was going on with Robert Jr.?
Yeah, of course.
I wanted to die at the time.
You know how that would kill me?
I just felt like a stain.
You know, it's a really important lesson for all of us to continually be reminded of, is we never really know exactly what other things are happening in someone's life. And I had no idea, you know, so I wish I could have been of more support.
There were rumblings that maybe Mary was having friction with even more women in the group. Did that contribute to how you were feeling about Mary? Was there more drama going on than what we're watching?
Yeah, I mean, of course there is. There's always going to be more than what you're seeing, you know? That's the nature of this. It's, you know, we're condensing a much longer timeline into 1 hour, you know, of our lives.
Do you at all blame Angie or see Angie as a part of the reason why you and Mary had some division?
I don't know one way or the other. They did seem to feel very comfortable in the car, kind of tearing into me together shortly thereafter.
I thought she was going to take your Armani statue on the way out, too.
Oh, my God.
I mean, she was just
Where's she going to put it, Angie? In the Airbnb?
It leads me to believe that that wasn't the first time that happened, but I don't know that, and I don't really care.
What do you make of everyone loves to take a shot at you renting a house in Park City, which is not a cheap place to rent a house.
No, I probably pay more for my homes than any of them do, but that's okay. We don't need to go there. It's not a competition. Yeah, it's creepy. It's like really creepy. Like, why are you so interested in my life? It's just like, who cares? Yeah, I take a winter ski rental. You know, Seth and I sold our home there when we thought we were getting a divorce, and we just never bought something else. I think it's convenient. I think it's easy. I don't have to worry about it when I'm not there. I'm only there about half the time. So, great. We have multiple homes that we travel between, and great. It's a really nice life. I don't know why they're so fascinated by it, but
it's the life I would like to live.
They should worry about their own homes, I guess. I don't know.
Well, speaking of Angie, have you been able to figure out why it is that you two just cannot keep the peace?
I mean, I can speculate. I don't really know. I would say the very large majority of issues are not me having a problem with her. They're her having a problem with me for things that I didn't do that she just falsely accuses me for and runs with for 2 years at a time. So, I think Angie never liked me from before she even came on the show. The only thing I can honestly think of is that she feels like I stole her snowflake because I only live in Park City half the time and I didn't grow up there, and so she wanted to be on the show from day one and she wasn't, and I think maybe that upset her. I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay. She did say she cried when she found out she was the center snowflake this season.
So I guess it's really important to her,
That's high body count hair. That's a high body count dress. Those are high body count heels. If you're gonna call me slutty, I think I look like a mother.
After seeing the high body count hair fight, do you see any of that differently now? Like, Bronwyn was kind of the architect of that drama.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that is true. Although, at the same time, like, she was just repeating other things. So it's not like...
Everything had been said. She just brought it all together in that moment.
Exactly. It's a complicated situation because the real issue goes back to the original comment of Angie saying to Brittany, "You're doing 3 guys," when Brittany had only said she was dating people. And I find that personally to be very offensive because Seth and I separated and we dated other people. It was very few other people. And it doesn't mean I was sleeping with anybody. And these women ran around like I was some kind of whore,
Half of New York.
Yeah, exactly.
Meredith can go f herself. I'm done with her because I'm not a whore and I don't cheat on my husband.
I mean, it's like a joke, So to me, I thought that was just really not very insensitive and, quite frankly, misogynistic.
What is your review of Bronwyn as an addition to this group? It's been a real high-low experience, I feel, for her, a roller coaster.
I think that she's spicy and sassy. I think that she's smart. I think that she's a good housewife. I mean, I do. I think she's a great addition.
She, Angie, and Mary, and Whitney have all kind of formed this little clique in the post-season. Do you think that's a legitimate friendship, or is that kind of like a reality TV alliance friendship?
I think that some of the friendships will pan out to be legitimate and some won't. I have a feeling some of those friendships will really gel and some may not.
A friendship of yours that has never really gelled is with Whitney. Did we ever get to the bottom of Alibaba and why her images were the same as the stock images?
No, I don't know why, and nor do I really care. Like, I'm not concerned with that. And the crazy thing is the whole context in which Lisa brought that up to me was her saying, I feel really badly that this is out there and it's damaging, and that was it. I don't know how that became a whodunit kind of thing, because what's the big deal? I don't even get, the whole thing it made no sense to me. It still doesn't.
Did you gift Whitney a bath bomb?
No, I didn't. I didn't think she'd want one.
Yeah, it might have ended up in the trash. What is the origin story for your love of baths? I don't think we've ever gotten where the love story with baths started, just that you love baths.
As a kid, I used to, when I was fairly young, I would come home from school. I'd get in the hot bath, because I grew up in Chicago. It was really cold in the winter. And I'd get in the hot bath with a book. And I would read in the bathtub. Sometimes, literally, I'd keep turning the hot on. Sometimes, literally for 2 hours.
Just come out shriveled.
Yes. I loved it. It's my calming, peaceful place.
That explains why you always need to go into the bath on this show.
Exactly. Exactly. I should just live in the bathtub.
Why can't we talk in facts? Why do we have to lie?
We are watching the 2.0 version of your friendship with Lisa Barlow. Does any part of you still harbor anything for that hot mic moment, or is it all in the past?
It's wild because I say this a lot. I talk about, my marriage, and we say we're on our second marriage to each other, because we had a rough time, and I feel the same way about my friendship with Lisa. It's a new friendship. You see a lot of times, and maybe you don't see them all, but the women really worked really hard to try to trigger us against each other. She said this, and you said that, and da-da. It's not gonna happen. I mean, ladies, I can't say this more clearly. It's not going to happen. Stop trying. it's a waste of your energy. Like, we're on to you. Figure out a different plan to try to break us up, you know?
did laugh when you all were in Milwaukee on the Sprinter, and they were all trying to figure out why Lisa didn't want to go on the trip that day. And then they were like, wait, Meredith, did you tell her? And you're like, yes, I did.
Yeah, of course I did. Like, of course I did. You're going to sit here and try to, like, solicit me to join your team, to team up against her? Yeah, I'm going to tell her.
We're in the middle of the trip to Mexico, which appears to be going off the rails.
Lisa can't take criticism from anyone.
Do you think that there's any road back at this point?
No, I don't.
There's nothing okay about any of this.
Why did it go so left so fast?
Has it ever not? I don't think there's any specific reason for that. I think that we really all are very, like, different people. We're wired very, very differently. So there are just a lot of things we don't see eye to eye on.
Who is most responsible for the twist Mexico takes? Does it fall on any one person?
No, there's so many different disagreements, arguments. I mean, no, it's not one person. It's a lot.
We see you in tears, telling producers you're not talking to them. I mean, how...
Yeah, that happened.
I'm gonna ask them a couple questions for you.
No.
Do not put your bad, dirty behavior on me.
Is that the aftermath of the, like, big final dinner you all have that we're seeing those glimpses of? Okay.
That was after that.
Because it's been said it rivals Bermuda, but in a different sort of way.
It's definitely very different.
But is it still kind of grounded in trust issues within the group? What would you say is the heart of the issue?
I do think trust is really obviously communication is huge. There's a lot of miscommunication that goes on. I think there's a lot of behind the back dirty behavior that sometimes is ill-intended that's going on. Sometimes people are doing things with the best of intentions and sometimes they're not.
Who do you feel you can trust in that circle?
I mean, Lisa is who I trust and Heather is who I trust and, Mary I trust, but we had a little faltering, so we're regrowing back, and you'll see Heather and I have a little falter too in Puerto Vallarta, so
Okay.
I'm good. I'm still good with that
crew.
Yeah.
Brittany, this is where the recording allegations pop up.
There's only one thing that I haven't come clean about on this trip.
Did you put a recording device in my room?
What would her reasoning be, if any, to secretly record anyone while you're already being recorded?
Yes, okay, and that is a very fair question because it does seem absurd to be so offended by someone recording you when you're filming a reality TV show. Again, we go to intentions. For starters, none of us agreed to be recorded by each other. We agreed to be recorded by Bravo and Shed Media, and that's a very different situation where they control that process than having someone else do that. So the only reason I could imagine someone recording within our group would be for something sinister, to share an argument, it was during an argument, to share that with someone who should not be receiving it.
And this was, I imagine, an off-camera moment, not her recording while you were filming.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. Mexico is also where Whitney reveals she has been in touch with Monica.
Who told you this?
I reached out to Monica.
Why would she go there knowing where last season ended?
I have to again go back to intentions, there are reasons that I think any of us could have reached out to Monica that would be maybe not completely acceptable by the group, but that could certainly have been justified and made sense of it. But her intentions did not seem very positive.
Okay, so you don't believe Whitney's reach out is justified?
No.
Okay. What I've found, and I know the fandom has found a little odd as we've watched the season and everybody's talked, is it seems like this circle would be more willing to bring Jen Shah back into it than Monica. Jen is in prison. Monica ran a fan account. So can you shed any light on why the overall feeling in the group is we could trust Jen more than Monica?
Yeah, I can. I think it goes, well, let's preface by saying there was more than just running a fan account that were at issue. I mean, we don't need to get into all the details and rehash it, but it was quite a bit more than that. Because quite frankly, the reality of Aunties is probably the least of my concerns of all the other stuff. But it goes back to accountability. Monica didn't want to take accountability at reunion, and Jen is, I mean, there is no more accountability you can take than going to federal prison, or any prison. So she is taking accountability. She is paying her restitution as best she can. She's serving her time. And it's going to, in my view, depend on the action she takes when she gets out. Like, if you're, taking accountability, serving your time, paying your restitution, there's nothing else you can do to right your wrongs. So if you come out and you're apologetic and accountable and doing all these things, I believe in second chances in life, I do. And Monica can do that too. The interesting thing with Monica is she's taken a lot of accountability for things she's done on her podcast, but she just didn't do it with us on the show.
You have been in contact with Jen. She just posted via whoever is running her social media for your birthday. Have you...
Oh wait, I have to see.
Oh, it's on her story.
Oh, I've got to go look. Okay. Amazing. That was nice.
Have you, in whatever brief conversations, interactions you've had with her, have you noticed a change in Jen Shah?
So, my interactions are quite limited with Jen. I have spoken with Sharif here and there, and it sounds like she's working very hard on herself and working to help others around her, which is obviously very positive. My interaction with her was one 10-minute phone call recorded by the government, so it was very, very quick and very, very brief.
Very top-line information.
Exactly.
You are fresh off of filming Reunion.
Yes.
What do you think is going to surprise the viewers about what unfolds there? I think Andy said it's probably going to be a 3-parter.
There's a lot that unfolds, and yes, I'm not surprised it's 3 parts. I mean, if they did a 4-part, it probably could have been a 4-part. We were there for a really long time. I think we really got to the bottom of a lot of issues, some more than others, but I think there will be some surprises of who does take accountability, who does apologize, who doesn't. What truths come out. It's going to be interesting.
Who do you think struggles with accountability the most?
Angie, I do. I think she came after me with basically everything she's accused me of doing to her has been shown that I didn't do any of those things, and she actually has done those things to me. She has spoken poorly about my home. She has spoken poorly about my marriage, et cetera, et cetera. I don't have to get into all of it. My business, blah, blah, blah. And I haven't done those things, and she has for 2 years now, and at some point you gotta be like, yes, I did that. But that's okay, she doesn't have to, it's fine.
Did you get what you wanted and needed out of this reunion?
Yeah, I mean, I got the opportunity to speak my piece. I think I got to, say what I needed to say, and I hope it all airs, but it's only a 3-part reunion, so I don't know.
Cut down. I want to walk through each of your cast members and just kind of where you exist with them after reunion. So Lisa, all good.
Yes.
Mary.
We're good.
Okay.
We're good. We texted the other day, and it was lovely.
Heather.
We're good.
Whitney.
I don't really know. Whitney seems to have had an issue with me from day one. I don't really know why, and at this point I kind of have lost interest in trying to figure it out. She has me blocked on her Instagram, so I actually just checked that the other day because, you know, they had all these, like, rumors about her, and I thought, oh, well, I hope she made a statement on this. And I, you know, typed in, well, no, she doesn't exist. So I guess she has me blocked, like, I don't know, so I guess that means we're not very good. I don't know.
Yeah, on that rumor front, there is this blind item I keep seeing pop up all over, that there's a cast where all the women are going to announce they're getting divorced, and everyone thinks it's your cast.
I don't think anyone is getting divorced in our cast, but I don't know. I mean,
that's my read too. I'm like, this all seems good. When Whitney came here to do an interview, Justin was with her. That wasn't that long ago. For things to change that much would be odd.
Yeah, I have no clue that anyone on our cast is getting a divorce. I can tell you definitively it is not me.
All right, Angie.
I think we made a neutral space.
Okay, so are there agreed upon rules of how to move forward?
I don't know if we quite got to agreed upon rules, but I'm cautiously optimistic that we're both leaving the past in the past and moving forward. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I don't know.
Bronwyn.
We're fine. We're good. We had like I said, you'll see some stuff in Puerto Vallarta, but I feel like we kind of made peace there and it's all good.
I did think it was a testament to the quality of Salt Lake City. I saw a post that was like, a cast member getting mauled by a dog would be a 5-episode storyline on any other Housewives, and it was like breezed over in 15 seconds on Salt Lake City.
That is actually insane, and you're right. Like, it is kind of crazy. I mean, it's pretty wild. Like, that's insane, terrifying.
And then, how you feeling about Brittany?
You know, Brittany was a little all over the place, and she's a little confusing to me. You know, I don't think she is ill-intended, but I don't know. She says and does things that don't resonate for me. So I don't know. She confuses me.
She was trying to make a moment happen at any chance she got instead of just living in the moment.
I think that might be more of what my issue is.
You guys, seriously, what about me?
I don't think she's an ill-intended human being. I don't.
It's not malicious. It's just,
yeah.
It's more, but why are you doing this right now?
Exactly. That sums it up. Yes.
All right. As we wrap up this season, how are you feeling about coming back, doing it all again for a 6th season? Or does this feel like the end of the road for anybody in your group? I feel like this is a very solid cast, though.
Yeah, I don't know that they'll make any dramatic changes, but I don't control that, so I have no idea. I think that for me, you know, I kind of have come to this realization that you can't change the game, you can only change how you play it, and that's the attitude I'm going with.